Hey everyone, welcome back to Play Casket with another episode of Your Turn. And this week, we got a lot of dogging on Overwatch to do, so we're just going to go ahead and just hop right into that. So, one of the first things major happened at Overwatch 2. You want to go ahead and kind of point that one out?
Yeah, so Overwatch 1 is dead. We now have Overwatch 2, which looks exactly like Overwatch 1.
And it's Overwatch 2 is like Overwatch 1, but you own less of your stuff.
Well,
Basically.
what I want to know is, like, they could have just patched in the graphics, but why did they do that?
There's a couple more mechanics and stuff. It's similar to
China.
It's
China.
more like
China.
it's more like how Splatoon 3 did it because of China. No, it's basically they had a couple mechanics that just couldn't be adjusted on the back end that would require basically starting from scratch. And Activision basically sees more money in that than the other way around and just patching stuff for free. Like, no, we're not going to do that. Might as well just sell a new game.
That's
basically
loot
what it
boxes
is.
again, losers.
Basically.
But yeah, oh my god.
It'd be so convenient that your progress from one doesn't transfer over.
I think it does. I can't remember.
It does.
Yeah,
They claim they do, but there's been reports that many are having trouble, and Blizzard's like community helpline right now is they don't know whether it's backed up or they're just getting flat out ignored, but they're not being very helpful with a lot of them. And
so it's just a huge egg on their face because this thing it's been terrible.
And I heard it got DDoSed on the very first day it got released, which was weird. I didn't know about it. I was playing Paladins. It was buggy on its own.
Gundam Evolution, right?
No.
TF2.
I wasn't playing that. You silly.
But, yeah, and then they also added you can't, they fixed it sort of now, but for now, you needed a actual phone number.
Yeah,
you need an actual line.
You need an actual phone number within dedicated
provider,
and basically a contract.
Yeah.
So that's what you needed, and then on top of that, they would reject like prepaid phones.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell?
Because they want to control your account and deny you service.
Yeah, and then just blame it on something else. That's so very EA of you, Activision. Thank you. Just more reasons not, like, literally all this crap that's happening with Overwatch 2, and people are like, man, like, just before even, like, they finally announced the release date, and like, man, October, Overwatch is just gonna finally kill Paladins. I'm like, first of all, if anyone's gonna kill Paladins, it's gonna be Paladins. And Paladins is trying really hard. We'll get into those details some other time in another place, but, Paladins covers a different aspect that just Overwatch does not do.
Yeah.
It just simply has that.
No, that's nice. Yeah, because if I want Overwatch with the reskin, I'll just play Gundam Evolution or something.
So there's other mechanics in Paladins that just stands up just enough that it does feel different when you play it.
Yeah.
People will always assume, oh, they're all character first-person shooters, therefore they're all Overwatch clones, therefore they're never not going to... You might as well just play Overwatch. Which doesn't work, because there's a lot of platform fighters out there, and not everyone is wanting to just play Smash Brothers. There's enough change to Rushdown Revolt that people are getting really hyped about. And that's another one that I would like to talk about one of these days, but not right now.
But why isn't Overwatch 2 different then?
Because it needed to be more like Overwatch. Like, if they changed too much, it would be like... The transition from 1 to 2 would not be as
I see
smooth.
no difference. Other than the character models.
That's ultimately, there's back
here.
end. There's back end, so there's probably a couple modes that are coming down the pipeline that are going to utilize some of the reasons why they had to do a back end change.
Oh, okay.
But as far as what it's right now, there is a couple changes. Like, payload has changed drastically how payload works. Something you couldn't really just do with the way the maps were laid out on 1. It just simply wouldn't. So they wanted to try to evolve this story a bit. So it gives them an excuse to evolve the story a bit. Gives them an excuse to kind of refresh a lot of environments. Gives them the excuse to just do a lot more of new, quote-unquote, new stuff without really doing much that isn't unfamiliar.
Okay.
But
I don't know. Just give me single player. Holy shit.
Honestly,
give me campaign mode.
honestly, like that's well, they want you to be online so they can control it. Like, think about it. Like, all the times like you played those weird like Junkenstein's Revenge, that's probably not going to come out this month because they got Overwatch 2 out. They're not going to probably. If they do, I'm going to be a little surprised. But I don't think there's going to. Even if they didn't do it, I don't think there's going to be much for them to kind of release for the Halloween. I really don't. But even if you wanted to play the single player version of that, you can't. It's only on one.
Oh, okay.
And people are like, oh well, it's gonna crush things. I'm like, no, it's literally crushing itself. I was playing Paladins. I completely didn't even remember that Overwatch 2 was even released. Like, I heard about Diablo Immortal being released, and I was hearing a lot about it. The good, the bad, the hype, whatever. I barely heard anything up to this point.
Well, I think they kind of clammed up about it was because they knew it was gonna launch like really bad like this.
I think they were like, oh, we should probably be quiet so nobody really understands. So they were hoping that they would just have a reboot of some kind and be like, yeah, Overwatch 2 is out, and then everybody goes ballistic about it. But then some dude did the numbers for free to play. If you are playing for free and you wanted to unlock any cosmetics up to this one character, if you really love, I think it's the new one, Yumiko or something like that, it will take you 5 years to do all non-seasonal unlocks.
Oof.
5 years to just do what's already there right now. That means all the stuff that's going to get added later and all the stuff that's going to get added during like certain Brawl Pass seasons and all that stuff, seasons and like a Battle Pass and all that stuff, events, you would still have to grind to them.
Yeah. We'll see if they fix it though, because even with the phone thing too, they kind of walked it back, but I still say it's something in the future that they're gonna
they had to walk back the real life marketplace for Diablo 3 as well. Remember that.
Yeah.
Like, for a lot of people who are praising Blizzard's praise quite often, and now I was at one point in time a huge Blizzard fan. I like there's something that the community used to call the Blizzard polish. There's something about the games that just oozed a charisma that was very unique. But even now, even when it has that charisma style to look at, like, yeah, it looks like they've been doing some really shady shit for a while. Like, it's not like, oh, whoopsies, I just added a real marketplace that costs us money. Or whoopsies, I just tried to make it so we can ban you from all your accounts on just a phone number. Whoopsies, this isn't a constant, like, series of mistakes. This isn't just, oh, well, we figured it would be easier. No. This is control.
Yeah.
This is deliberate acting out of essentially malicious control. Like, legitimately.
Let's give some time. I'm not...
And honestly, I feel like it's going to end up being that way. Yeah. One of these days, they're going to be like, World of Warcraft requires your facial recognition or some bullshit.
Oh, you said something mean on Facebook. Guess we're going to have to ban your account for a couple hours, or you better delete that naughty word.
We didn't appreciate your poorly structured review of us on Amazon. We would ask you to restructure and take that back now, or not have your account. Even though it could be in like a fully fledged out, here's a review and I'm giving it 3 out of 10 stars and here's my breakdown as to why. We don't like that video, you're gone.
But you signed the NDA. You hit agree, right?
And it's like, since you don't like our product, we're just deciding to remove you anyway.
Yeah.
Like, this is the same crap. It is genuinely the same, like, energy. So, yeah, you got a whole big grind on Overwatch. You got people, like, they're trying to blockchain the models so people can't put penises on Tracer anymore. Put 4 of them on now. Just come out of the shoulders. Like, make it look like World of Warcraft's armor. Which isn't, it's not going to stop them.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to do this even worse now. Like, it made it worse the last time they did it. They'd made it so much worse that I was seeing it with safe search on, and I was seeing, like, adult material of various forms of Overwatch characters. When you just searched Overwatch and that character, there was I'm like, dude, my safe search is on just to like remove all the riffraff. You know, sometimes I just want to get the art references and stuff, and it was bad. No, I honestly have it off so I can look at naughty things, though. But when I want to actually have actual art references, I turn it back on so it gets rid of all that nonsense. But it was still coming through.
Yeah.
Like, was like I wanted references for like Farrah's armor several years ago, so I could use it as some kind of like influence for a bug style design I was doing at the time, and no, none of them were wearing armor. The safe search was on. Dude, that's her mother. Like, it was insane. But yeah, you got that. You got the grindhouse. You got just any empty promises they're going to be making in the future. Like it is.
No, it more and more just sounds like they're trying to kill Overwatch. Like no porn of it. No.
I think
no
the thing is,
to
I don't think it's one of those. I'm trying to kill stuff. It's more of I'm trying to make sure all the money, all the proceeds, all the everything goes to us.
Oh, okay.
I'm willing to bet that they're going to try to find a way to blockchain the character designs and then copyright those designs. So if you ever make fan art for a commission, they get a piece of that.
That's so stupid though, because
I feel like that's exactly what's going to happen.
It's now Macer, and she carries a mace, and she's blue. Fuck you. Yeah.
Like you're going to find this, but some people will want Tracer. It's like, hey, I got a commission for you to draw. Can you draw me with Tracer fighting Bowser in Smash Brothers, please? Like somebody might have a fan, just a fan thing that would like to have that, or I want to see Tracer at a kitchen in a pajamas eating a toast off of Wonder Bread. That's weird.
Toast off Wonder Bread?
Yep, toast off Wonder Bread. But when somebody makes it, you're like, all right, here's that. Blizzard will probably be like, I need some of that money.
Yeah.
Because you used my character, therefore it costs you. And that I feel like that's exactly what these actions are trying to get more control for, and luckily they're all been getting backlashed quite often. Like I feel like that's the right train of thought.
And the Toho train still rides strong. Holy shit!
Yeah, I was like, does the actual Toho dude get any of this money? No. Does he even know these things exist? Like there is a lot of them. Like if I was that dude, I'd be like, I didn't know there was an RPG. No, I'm not gonna lie. In my head, he looks like a disheveled dude just tweaking out on coffee right now, trying to make his next one.
Yeah.
And like, there's other fan games that just had art that just dominates what he's doing on his own. Yeah. And he's like, I didn't even know that existed.
Well, I do know he did have a hard line he had to draw one time. So, but for the most part, yeah, it's a lot of it's just. Yeah, go nuts. Like, yeah. I'm glad my fans like it. And people do use Toho as an example of, we should be able to have that type of freedom, period, and stuff. I'm like, here's the problem with that. Because of Disney and the copyright laws they helped push to secure what Disney's brand was, has made us so brand conscious that trying to go back to the way it is now would be very self-destructive. Yeah.
Why ever would you want to make something original when you could just slap Mario on it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mickey Mouse.
Like, hey,
Coke, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Cigarettes, like
like why would you use it for any? Why would you make anything original? Why would you make your own brand? And be like, well, it would encourage you to be original. No, it wouldn't. Yeah. It would honestly, like, if I wanted to make money. And I wanted to make money off of shoes. I'd just call them, and I just slap Nike's swoosh on everything and just call it Paraka shoes.
Yeah.
And Paraka shoes has Nike swoosh, and it's designed just like Nike's. Might as well just be Nike's.
Yeah.
So they'll just buy my stuff, like,
or somebody will accidentally buy it.
Because if you make a 3D platformer right now, you're not going to sell very well. But if you just swap out your character with Mario, you're going to sell very well.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that, like, because of our brand conscious, it's very destructive.
The issue is that, like, you really wish people would use good faith on this type of shit.
Yeah. And the thing is, if Disney never did that back then, we probably wouldn't have that same issue now.
Yeah.
Okay? We probably would just be like, yeah, Mario's... Here's this one guy's version of Mario's there, or this guy's version of Mario's there, but it's like kind of like your version of Alice in Wonderland, their version of Alice in Wonderland, somebody else's version of Alice in Wonderland. Like, everyone, like, you know, everyone will have their own version of it, but it wouldn't be anything, you know? It'd just be there.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because of that, we are now in a new culture that the very moment something would hit that's very popular to public domain, it might as well just be everyone's Mario, because everyone's going to do Mario Crisis, Mario Battlefield, Mario, like everyone, like EA would make so many Marios out the ass, like there would be like 5 Marios a year from them alone.
Yeah.
You'd get 27 Marios every single year, because it's going to sell better than any independent game has ever done originally ever, because the situation we're in now.
So,
like, it just doesn't work the same way.
Anyways.
Overwatch.
Right?
Overwatch.
How does this tie into it again?
Toho, I guess. I don't know. It's like, it's getting weird.
Basically, anyways, going off a tangent. Yeah. It was about, like,
Blizzard's controlling the people with the mines and the frogs and stuff, and they're putting stuff in the water with the fluorides.
Fan created stuff. There we go.
Fan created stuff. They're basically trying to get... I honestly feel like they're trying to get more control and more payment from people doing fan creation stuff.
It would kill them. It'll kill the franchise.
Well, I don't even think it will just kill just the franchise. But the thing is, we're so brand conscious, we as consumers won't care. Those who create will. Those artists who's like, here's a fan character of this, and then all these other corporations are gonna be like, well, then I want mine from all the Marvel and all the, like, do you not know Disney would just swing the hammer harder than they have ever swung before for any fan designs or anything like that?
Yeah.
Somebody gets somebody makes a fan picture of Black Widow. I can guarantee you Disney will come in and go, hey, you got about 13,000 likes on this, with 765,000 views on Twitter, and with this and this and this, that equals out about $675,000 worth of exposure that you need to owe us.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I did it for free. I don't even get paid here. You know, like, I just like Black Widow, and like, that doesn't matter. You can like Black Widow without having to do this to us.
Yeah.
Pay up. Like, you know exactly what this type of crap's being. So, be alert.
We'll just make our own shit.
We'll make our own shit. Well, a couple people already know that we're working on other projects. We'll probably talk about that on the stream. But what are the things we got going? Oh, yeah. Speaking of weird licensing nonsense, Mario has got a trailer released from Illumination and stuff like that. So...
It looks pretty good.
Licensed movie. Okay, so it looks alright.
Yeah.
It looks alright. It looks better than most Illumination movies.
I'll give props to Jack Black to trying to sound like Bowser. Chris Pratt could use a little bit more.
You want to know what's really funny about Chris Pratt's? Like, I was actually going to say something about that. So Chris Pratt sounds a little weird. He could have just added a slight tinge of Italian, and I would be like, I'll roll with it. At least he's trying, you know? Like, I'll roll with it. But it doesn't sound like he was want to try that. But Chris Pratt's official voice actor in Brazil can do that voice in Italian. And he sounds so much better because of it. Okay. And it's and maybe it's because it sounds foreign to me anyway, because I'm not so familiar with many of the Brazilian, like, dialect and accent and stuff like that anyway. And the dude's just doing a bunch of Portuguese. So since I don't understand Portuguese, it probably sounds a little weirder or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. But you can tell he has some Italian to it. I'm like, this sounds better. You know, I'm like, way to flex, dude. Like, that is hilarious. And I think they should have added a small, gravelly, like, auto-tune to Bowser. So it just sounds better.
Yeah.
It just sounds like he has a pair of human lungs. Oh, okay. Because that's what Jack Black has.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if they gave him gravelly, because he breathes fire, you should have at least the fact that you can kind of hear the in the background, you know? Like, something very faint while he's talking, you know? Like, not really heavy, like you hear some kind of, like, epic molten golem or whatever.
Well, we should be okay, as long as they haven't finished recording, right?
Right? That's almost done. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm glad the way it looks is the way I wanted Sonic to look.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Instead, he's in real world. I don't like that. The movies were fun. I can put it to the side and say, yes, the movies were fun. They are enjoyable. This one looks like it can be enjoyable too. I'm not going to be like, I hate it, all that. Like, it might be fun in its own right, but there's just a couple things like, it would have just made it better. And several people are like, why didn't they use these characters? Because it's Hollywood. Hollywood uses Hollywood context.
Yeah.
That's exactly that's why, what was it, Scoob? The new 3D movie Scoob that they just did had all these people instead of like the new voice of Shaggy. You know, they're like, what? He's so good. Yeah, he is really good at doing Shaggy. That's why he's the voice in multiverses. That's why he's the voice in multiple other like Scooby-Doo games and stuff. But this is Hollywood. They always need Hollywood names because Hollywood names fill in Hollywood seats.
Yeah.
So that's ultimately when you talk about it, that's the ultimate end on it. And it sucks and it's lame, but I am willing to say this is just the weird sphere of world that is over there.
Yeah.
You know? And plus, Mario has a very thick Italian accent. Trying to have full-on sentences like that is going to be nuts. You know? Like trying to have Charles Martinet just busting that name just so thick the way he does it. Like it's weird when Mario has a full sentence. Like, hey, think you were playing on my game. Like it feels weird because it's like, dude, that's a long phrase for you. Like, you know?
I just like the memes that are coming out though when they take like Chris Pratt from Guardians and they dub it over like Mario stuff.
Oh yeah, they did that with Bowser and the School of Rock too.
Yeah.
That one was a good one too. But overall, the movie, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical because it's still Illumination.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm skeptical because Illumination's still there, but Nintendo's very confident with it. In fact, Nintendo has made, because of what's going on with this, they were inspired to make a movie pictures set. So they're going to start making other ones like that too.
Okay.
So supposedly they're going to be working on Donkey Kong next, but that's just here, you know, talk in the wild and stuff.
Okay.
But for the most part, I'm reserved on it. I have my beefs with it, but as a movie in of itself, standing alone on its own, I can see it could be good fun. Okay, that's where I stand on it. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, it clashes with everything that's Mario. I'm like, dude, technically, Nintendo has already admitted that Mario is a whole play.
Yeah.
They've they made it very blunt in like Mario Brothers 3 when everything was stage props.
Yeah.
You know, they know, like, you don't just become friends with Bowser. That's the whole thing. It wasn't that it's just there.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing roles essentially, and it's kind of interesting when you think about it that way. I'm like, it's probably why they never really thwart Bowser. You know what I mean? They never really beat Bowser. Whereas like Legend of Zelda, like, yeah, I'm gonna lock up Ganon for several thousand years.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, there's that. But for the most part, I'm willing to see this. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be fun, and you know, look forward to it.
Yeah.
What else is on the chopping block for us to talk about this week?
Kind of small, but PS5 got hacked.
Yeah, PS5 got hacked. Well, it's only small because only 12 people still own one.
Can you even get one? Or do you even want one?
Dude, like, it's starting to increase production. People are all like, all these Sony fanboys are like super excited about it. I'm like, dude, you guys might want to call this a wash. Like as far as this weird console war thing that people want to talk about all stupidly all the time, I'm like, just call this one in, dude. Like, it's not gonna, like, it was so hard to find for 2 years.
I know.
That's almost half of a usual life expectancy for development, and they don't even have like half the games that even Switch had in its first year.
I know, and they cut all production from Japan, moved their HQ to California.
Yeah, all this money that they could have spent making PS5s.
Oh, I know. They could censor more games, right?
Oh, did you just see a knee over there? That needs a censor bar.
One of these days, wants me to play it more.
One of these days, Sony's gonna come in and just start censoring us too.
Yeah.
There's just like, as we're talking, it just goes Sony, and Sony, Sony, and then it's Sony, and then I went and Sony, just repeatedly
redacted,
redacted, Sony. So it's just, it's dumb. It's hilarious, but at the same time, a lot of people who are like the hacking community is excited because they can start homebrewing and emulating like soon because it got hacked.
Yeah.
And
well, we're not gonna get just to see like what people can do with it, because a lot of times Sony will be like, oh well, it's something we can't do, and then like,
no, we just did that.
Yeah, look at the hacking community, we just pulled it off. Yeah, you guys are full of crap.
Yeah, and the problem with it is that even though the hacking community is like, it's a gray area. Like I'll never say that hackers are evil. I don't say hackers are good either. Like, they're very chaotic neutral. Mm-hmm. They literally do stuff to self-serve, but then they tell themselves they're the better ones because of it. Like, a lot of the ones who are hackers tend to be like kind of full of their crap. Mm-hmm. But at the ultimate end, like, there's stuff to learn from that. Mm-hmm. You know? And there's some hackers to kind of prove a point of what power can be hidden behind stuff and what they fucked up, you know, developing these games. Like, here, I hacked this, I made this better. This is all you needed to do. When like the developers spent 3 years developing it for no fucking reason whatsoever, and like, oh well, that's just there the entire time. And he's like, I just fixed it.
Yeah,
you know. And there's also like weird things that people do quite often with stuff that just blows your mind. But the stuff that they end up doing, you end up having people like pirates and stuff like that just come in and just rake the thing and rake the whole image and rake the ideas all over the coals and just scrape every little bit of it and run off for free. And then they're like, well, we deserve this because, you know, it's not really a crime.
No sequel? Yeah.
It's really not a crime. In fact, piracy helps companies even more than. I'm like, dude, no. Like, I can understand where piracy hits a weird gray area sometimes, but that's usually the ultimate end to it. Like, just the same thing with like the nuclear fission that like scientists made and stuff, right? And we end up finding ways to turn it into weapons to nuke everybody else that we don't like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this could provide endless energy. What if we nuke each other with it? Like,
for me to kill.
Yeah, basically. I made this fork so you can pick up your food without getting yourself dirty. I'm gonna stab my brother with it. Like, that's exactly where this shit comes from.
Yeah.
So, it's interesting. I feel like this hack is a little bit of a step in the direction of homebrews and piracy and stuff like that on PlayStation 5. And Sony really doesn't need to be affording that right now because they can't really sell the system.
Do they even have any games? Right?
There's games on the thing?
The only thing I want is Demon Souls. Other than that, like, I could just pop up I could just start up my PS3. Like,
PS3. Honestly, like, I gotta Switch. Yeah. And honestly, like, with the access to a lot of it and how AAA game developers are just horrible now, it's just easier to just play a bunch of indie games on the Switch. Like, I don't really care about, like, I'm not even excited about Witcher 4 being in development. That was kind of a given.
Yeah.
I'm more excited, like, if they make a Shovel Knight 2.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about Shovel Knight Dig right now than, like, you know, a Mario game right now. It sucks. It's weird. And it sucks because it's just because I know how several companies act. I'm like, I want Diablo 4. Diablo has been one of my end game, like, my primo games that I love. And I don't even want to look at it. I don't even want to see the updates. I haven't even went to the main sites. I haven't done to fan sites for almost a year now. I can't fathom myself to like it.
Hype culture kind of ruined everything, I think.
Huh?
Hype culture kind of ruined everything.
Yeah, hype culture sucks too. I think hype culture does have a little thing to it too. But I'm more excited to play Knockout City tonight after we're recording than playing Diablo 4. It's weird, you know? So, but I digress. I laugh at you, Sony. I laugh at you, Blizzard. I laugh at you, Activision and Overwatch. But, you know, I want to thank you all for enjoying us dumping on everything. And if you like our content, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. Especially share. We would like to get our words out in other people's ears, and so they would have to hear us. And we will see you on the other side.